So you know what happened to the CNN legal analyst and guy who works for the New Yorker, Jeffrey Toobin? He's a very unremarkable guy, but he got caught jerking off on a Zoom meeting. He's at work. You can't wait till work's over. So anyway, I thought the funniest guy who covered it was this guy in Southern California, in Los Angeles. Watch this.
A cautionary tale. Start this morning with a cliche.
Cautionary tale. Cautionary tale. You know how everybody likes to jerk off at work.
A cautionary tale. Start this morning with a cliche phrase I suspect many people in the media were saying to themselves yesterday, there, but for the grace of God go I.
There, but for the grace of God. A lot of people in the media, because you know how we all jerk off at our Zoom meetings. What is he saying? That's what he's saying.
Yes.
There, but for a lot of people in media are saying there, but for the grace of, whoa.
A cautionary tale. Start this morning with a cliche phrase I suspect many people in the media were saying to themselves yesterday, there, but for the grace of God go I. The particular career-killing act we're about to describe isn't something that just anyone would do, but the idea,
it's just something that anyone would do. Well, it sounds like it. If you're saying there, but for the grace of God goes I. It doesn't sound like just anyone would do. Well, that's what you're making it sound like, because he's like going, oh my God. What this guy's doing is like, when he heard that story, he's like, oh my God, that could be me. All the crazy shit I do.
Actually acute in 2020, that you can have an absolutely great career and have that career almost immediately and entirely derailed by a single really stupid act is
just because you took your dick out at work and started jerking off in front of a group full of people. You can have a great career, and just because of one little thing, like taking your dick out in front of everybody at work and jerking off. What?
Really chilling. Consider the case of Jeffrey Toobin, a deeply respected writer and television commentator.
Deeply.
First of all, he said it's really chilling.
Yes.
Great career, and have that career almost immediately and entirely derailed by a single really stupid act is really chilling.
It's really chilling that you could ruin your career by taking your dick out in front of all your coworkers and jerking off. That's chilling? I would think that would just be logical. That would be expected, that you're going to ruin your career if you're at a business meeting and you take your dick out and start jerking off in front of everybody. I'm just thinking that's logical. Again, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take my dick out and jerk off during a business meeting at all. I probably would.
But as a goof.
Consider the case of Jeffrey Toobin, a deeply respected writer and television commentator.
Deeply respected.
Oh, come on.
Deeply respected? Deeply.
Until yesterday, served regularly as the on-air chief justice correspondent for CNN.
What really amazes me is the John Thunes, the Susan Collins, who say, the president has learned his lesson.
Yeah.
No, he has not. No, he has not. He is going to do this again. He said he will do it again. And the idea that there is some chastening here is absurd.
Chastening?
Toobin has been a fixture on CNN for decades, and this story shows.
First of all, you know the guy who picked that clip has a sense of humor, because there's Jeffrey Toobin saying he's not going to change, it's not going to date.
And he made sure to have a clip where you can see Toobin's one hand.
Ah.
How he remained firmly placed among the media elite. Imagine this, a top-tier Zoom call. People on the call, some of the biggest writers from the most respected magazine in the country. Toobin is on a call with colleagues from the New Yorker.
Now what? Listen to how Toobin is on. So they go to a video, and as they go to video of Zoom calls, the reporter says, Toobin is on a Zoom call. So you think this is Toobin's Zoom call. That's the way but it's not. It's just B-roll. It's just generic footage of Zoom calls that they decide to stick into the story because somehow B-roll, people think B-roll makes news more interesting. It doesn't.
I can't follow the story unless you show me what a Zoom call is.
Why don't you have a video of a Zoom call, because I couldn't ever imagine what that is. So watch what immediately he starts to do this. It confuses even his colleagues, and they interrupt him. Watch this.
People on the call, some of the biggest writers from the most respected magazine in the country.
Listen to how he says it.
Toobin is on a call with colleagues from the New Yorker who are playing some...
Rich DeMuro was on there?
No, this is our generic
our
Zoom.
Zoom video.
His kids
they're planning
were on?
some special election coverage.
He's like, his kids are on the Zoom call. Why are you showing them? No. This is just generic Zoom call. Well, that's confusing. Why would you do that? Because the producer had to justify their job. I'll put in some B-roll here. It's just confused people. All right, so.
From the most respected magazine in the country, Toobin is on a call with colleagues from the New Yorker who are playing some.
Rich DeMuro was on there?
No, this is our generic
Our Zoom video.
His kids
they're planning
were
some
on?
special election coverage, along with not only folks from the New Yorker, from New York City's premier public radio station, WNYC. All told, about 20 people are on the Zoom call. There's some breakout rooms. Speaking of breaking out, according to press reports, at some point, Toobin engages in an intimate act of.
Speaking of breaking out, he breaks out his dick. Speaking of breaking out. And now watch how they describe masturbation on a morning news show in L.A. Watch how they describe it.
According to press reports, at some point, Toobin engages in an intimate act of self-gratification, seemingly.
An intimate act of self-gratification.
Unaware that.
An intimate act of self-gratification. That's how they described it. Daddy, what's an intimate act of self-gratification mean? It means jerking off. It means he was jerking off. Oh, an intimate act of jerking off.
The Zoom camera is on. For his part, Toobin calls the incident an embarrassing and stupid mistake. New Yorker has suspended the longtime writer. Toobin himself asked to be taken off the air at CNN while he deals with a, quote, personal issue.
Toobin himself asked to be taken. Hey, look, I'm such a good person that I need to go. Obviously, I've got some problems that I've had my whole life and I'm never going to correct.
All say, what happens to Toobin now? His best-selling book about the O.J. Simpson trial, The Run of His Life, was the basis for the star-studded FX movie. Toobin had other books in development for Hollywood productions, and as you can imagine, this has received huge headlines all around the world. And the question many
you can imagine it's received huge headlines. I mean, like a 10-inch headline, huh? Am I right, ladies? Did you see how big that headline is?
People are asking, especially in this climate, can Toobin's career survive? It is one of the fastest and furthest falls one can possibly imagine. So will this staple of the media, both in print and broadcast, vanish forever? Or is there some path back? It's impossible to rank these things. There's another CNN colleague who had a deeply embarrassing and public scandal who reestablished his career and is on the air today. For their part, the New Yorker says they're talking
about Brian Williams.
Leaning in.
They're talking about Brian Williams, who got caught lying about his war record.
And he was exposed, too.
Career and is on the air today. For their part, the New Yorker says they're conducting a complete investigation.
The New Yorker is conducting a complete investigation. Exactly what that is. What does that investigation look like? I'm the investigator, Jeffrey. Let me see your hand. Let me see the other side. Let me see the other hand. Okay. Are these other hands that you were using when you were on the Skype call? These are? Okay. Investigation over. What are they investigating? Are these the hands you were using that night? They are? Okay. They're going to do a full investigation.
Yikes.
Can you drop your pants, please? I need to see the headline.
We're going to need a smaller headline.
But now I think what we have now is we might have to switch the double CK to Louis. We have a graphic for the double CK. You know, Louis CK's famously also had a career. He's not over. He still tours. Mm-hmm. So he had some damage done to his career when he was revealed that he would sexually masturbate in front of women against their will. And so we started that. When someone is being extra disingenuous, you go like this. When someone's extra, I give you double CK. And guess what? Just as Jeff Bezos, he's going to give you the double CK.
And that award this week goes to Jeffrey Toobin.
Our double CK award goes to Jeffrey Toobin. Okay. All right, and that is our Jeffrey Toobin story.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.